Fun fact number 64. Is it 64? Let me see. 64. I've been trying to work on my short stories. I haven't done too much lately, but I have fleshed out something. But the stories just aren't gelling. They're not gelling right now. And I have a few that are fairly complete and that I could re-edit, but the other stories aren't quite gelling. And I'm gonna read a rough of one of the stories. I haven't read it. I wrote it a while ago, so I don't even know what's in it, but I'm gonna read it and show you how it's not gelling. But I thought I could read it to you now, and then if I can rework it and make it a better short story, then I could read it again and you could see the difference of how much work it takes to really get a story down. Now, I do have a few stories that gelled. Let me see, which ones were they? It's what any mama would do, and I've done a slideshow for that one already. And that's going to be in the next book. But let me see. Then Window Shopping for a Soulmate. That one's not even gelled very well, but it's more gelled than the other ones. This one's called, this is just the very rough, may not even become a story. Am I worthy? Or I am worthy. I am worthy. Perhaps it was the fact that I was always told the story about how it was to be an abortion, but then they almost lost me and decided they didn't want to lose me. Maybe it was being reminded by my older siblings that I would never be as good as them since they were older and would experience or learn everything before me. Maybe it was because I survived past them. Maybe it was my father's sexual abuse of only me. Maybe it was my mother's jealousy over my dad wanting me. He never raped me, but he did everything else. Because without people did everything else he could without people finding out. Maybe it was my empathy, my ability to feel what others felt. I stressed others' happiness and care and love above my own. Who knows? I had a hard time receiving compliments or gifts. I had a hard time receiving attention and love. Trust was hard, but I tended to trust and dive into every friendship and every relationship with all of me until I was proven wrong and broken. Then the trust was gone, and so was the relationship. Animals were always good. Animals were always good. Understand. Oops. Wait a second. Animals were always good. Well, here we go. I understand the emotional support animal, but perhaps some of us are emotional support humans to our animals. See, I can be witty and comical, funny, strange, different. To be able to receive gifts and not feel you have to give something more back or at least something back. I really do love it when things balance. Checkbooks, relationships, life. I have to let go and receive the gifts people want to give me. I have to learn to ask for help and accept others' help. But first, I have to learn boundaries and how to say no and not feel bad for saying no. I have to learn what are my feelings and what are your feelings and separate them so I'm not owning anything that is not mine. So I don't feel responsible for how you feel, but I also don't act on how you feel as if I felt that way too. That one is hard. The difficulty in receiving is that to truly receive, you have to feel worthy. You? No, I have to feel worthy. I have to remind myself. I have to figure out why I don't feel worthy. Why don't I feel worthy of good things? Why shouldn't I have what I want? Is it the selfish stigma or that I'm not used to having what I want? If I had all I wanted, if I didn't always have to struggle or just accept what I'm given, like hand-me-down clothes and a love that just settles for a person who says they'll take you, not because they want you or love you, but because you were the only one left on the shelf. I desire a real life interacting with the world. I want a real love who sees me and doesn't mind all the imperfections. No, wrong. Who loves my imperfections. Someone I feel the same way about, and we walk forward together. I hid, and time went by. I'm not youthful and bubbly. I can't give you the promises and dreams that move forward from youth, but I am worthy. I am worthy of dreams coming true, of deep soul connections, of gentle touches, of real life full of love and adventure. I am worthy for my voice to be heard and honored, of my boundaries to be respected, of my heart to be lifted up. You are worthy too. So that was more like a monologue than a short story. And I can make it into a story. And let's see if I can. Like I said, I'll work on it and maybe I'll come back and read you a little bit more. Read you the update. It can take forever because I haven't really been moving very quickly on these things lately. So that is Fun Fact 64. What did I originally call it? It was like Words Not Jelling, trying to make another short story book, and I have all these ideas for stories, but they're just not flicking into place, and they're just blobs of ideas and not actual stories. So I have to put it in some kind of scene and context and wish me luck. So if you write, you understand sometimes. To me, sometimes the stories just write themselves. They're just there. Or I have a thought, or I have, like, with my story in one of my first, I believe it was my first short story book. It's called Ghost Rabbit, which was in the first, a short story in the first short story book. And that one kind of, I had an idea. That one was, let me see, I was playing with somebody who's truly, I had a character idea of somebody who's truly apathetic. Um, Not without any feelings really, but just kind of, and not really a sociopath, but just apathetic. Like he just fell into things and did them, and but didn't really care one way or another how things were. He just, and it's like he was bored and wanted excitement. And I had this idea of this character, and that's how Ghost Rabbit came about. Some of my other short stories came from first line exercises. Um, I think, where are we? Just kind of like float out. And it's what any mama would do is like the current, I kind of had a play in my mind of the current events of the world right now. If it played out through its, if you follow the logical pattern, you play it all the way out, what would the world look like and who would survive and how would they survive? And so that's what any mama would do. It was also the fact that I always thought like even with when the towers were hit or when somebody goes to school with a gun and shoots at kids or mall, um, but mostly adults who have children killing other people's children. How could you kill children if you had children? It would take somebody with a very narcissistic, sociopathic, psychopathic person, and that's our president right now. But this is about stories, not gelling. The world's not gelling. This is about stories, not gelling. So that's it for fun fact number 64. Ciao, Bellas.